Okay, what we're going to do tonight is work through the 5th Dan syllabus. Now, the entire 5th Dan centres around edged weapons work. Now, an edged weapon can either be a hunting knife, it can be a potato peeler out your kitchen, it could be a broken bottle, a piece of glass, a broken mirror with a sharpened edge. Absolutely anything at all that can slash or stab can be classified as an edged weapon. So for tonight, we're going to use this, which is basically just a training knife made of aluminium. It's not a sharp edge. Here at Edinburgh Judo, they think we're mad, but we're not completely stupid. So we're not going to use a sharpened edge knife, so just use a training knife. Okay, now when you do edged weapons work, it's really important to remember that this is not the dangerous part. This is the dangerous part. If you put the knife on the ground, it's an inanimate object and it can do you no harm whatsoever. It only becomes a danger when it is in the hand of a man or a woman. Now, when a person actually comes towards you with a knife and they're going to attack you, you'll never see it. So the truth be told, if somebody really wants to stab you, or they really want to slash you, or they do some sort of attack with an edged weapon, and they really want to do it, then you'll never know what's going to happen, and there is absolutely no defence there. So if I really wanted to stab David here, I wouldn't let him see my knife. I would hold it, I would walk past him, wait till I got past, and then I would stab. And I would do the damage there. Before he has any sort of opportunity to be able to react to what I'm going to do. So any sort of knife defence is completely useless in that situation. The only time that you would ever use any sort of defences to knives is an absolute last resort. Now initially, the first defence is to put a pair of trainers and run as fast as you can. So that is always your first reaction when somebody pulls a knife out. So David pulls a knife out on me, I immediately pulls it out, I see the knife, I'll run away as fast and as far as I can so he can't catch me. Yeah? Your second reaction when somebody pulls a knife out is to talk them down, so using good body language, good distance, keeping a space between you, and try and talk them down so that they'll then put the knife away and walk away. So that's your second. Now the only time you're ever going to be able to, or the only time you'll ever even think about using a knife is when it's some idiot who really has absolutely no idea of knives at all. They'll be swinging it about in front of them and it's bravado. It's not something that they actually want to use. Again, if somebody wants to use a knife, you'll never see it, they'll just cut you. But if somebody's swinging the knife around in front of them, going come ahead, I'm going to cut you, then 10 times out of 10 they really don't know what to do with a knife. So David doesn't know what to do with the knife, he's swinging it around. I know I've got some sort of chance. So again, my first resort would still be run away as fast as I can. So the only time you would ever do any sort of defence is in an absolute last ditch situation. You've run out of all options, you've nowhere to go, you can't run, you can't talk them down, you feel your life is in mortal danger, and this is the very last thing you're going to be able to do in order to save your life. Okay, so here's technique one. So what is going to happen, my partner's going to stab me in the stomach. Again, as always, whenever somebody threatens you, your hands are up and you're in a ready position. So as he stabs, he comes in. Okay, I'll explain what we've done. So as he comes in, what I'm doing, just he stabbed me here. So before he gets to this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to enter in towards him. And as I do, I bring this hand down on top of his forearm, really just to redirect his knife in the direction that is directed away from my stomach. And as I do, I hit him in the shoulder, right in the clavicle here, where the muscle separates between this part of the shoulder and this part of the shoulder. As soon as I do that, my hand comes up and locks his hand in here, in between the crook of my arm, so it comes up and over. Now I'm still not concentrating on the knife, it's of no concern to me whatsoever at the moment. I'm concentrating fully on the man. From here, my hand goes over the top of his shoulder, and I take a big turn and draw him down onto the ground, using the lock. Now it's not always pretty and they don't always go according to plan. As long as he goes down and you remain in control, that is the most important part. You immediately come on the top and force his wrist down towards him. Hold that knife as tight as you can, David. Now even if he's holding that knife as tight as he can, I can still take the knife out from his hand using the back of the blade and do so nice and easily, and I end up in a position of control. I've got the knife, and that's the important thing. He's no longer in control or in a position to do me any damage. Okay, now what we're going to do tonight, because there's a bit of talking involved in this, is we're just going to do all the techniques to one side. And it's really easy to turn around and do them to the other side. So really all you need to know, by the time you get to 5th dan, yeah, it should be dead simple for you to transfer techniques from left to right, from right to left. So we're not going to demonstrate to both sides. So this time what's going to happen is, I've been backed against the wall, the guy's got the knife up against my throat, he's got a hold of whatever piece of clothing I'm wearing. Yeah. And he wants to take my money or whatever it is he's robbing me for. So immediately as he does it, and he asks me to bring my hands up, I bring my hands up to the side. If you note, they're in line with his hands, so keep that knife nice and tight against my neck. So what I have to do is engage his brain with a question. So any question does, why are you mugging me? You know, what did you have for breakfast? What's your name? Any sort of question whatsoever. And as soon as I ask that question, before he gets a chance to answer, his brain's immediately going to engage it, and as he does, I'm going to move. Now, I'm going to turn my body in this direction, and at the same time, my hand pushes the knife off, so it comes away from my neck. So from here, over, and into the other hand. And as it does this, I bring my elbow across the top, the knife is in control, I've got control over the hand he's holding it with. I rotate back in against him, force him down onto the ground with the wrist lock, take the back of the knife and strip the knife away from his hand. And then again, I'm in a controlled position. So what we'll do as an experiment, and just for fun, because David fancies his chances and he thinks he's quicker than I am, which is true because he's a lot younger. Right, so as soon as I move, I want you to cut me with that knife. Are you ready? So before he gets a chance to move, I've already taken the knife off him. Okay. Okay, number 3, we're going to do Kodokan Goshin. So again, the guy's got me against the wall, or he's got me in an uncomfortable position. He's got the knife against the outside of my throat this time, and I feel in danger. So again, he's asked me to bring my hands up. Now this time it's a little bit more awkward because I've got to knock the hand from here, but this hand's in the way. So from here I've got to hit in this direction and move this off my neck far enough to be able to catch a hold of his wrist with this hand, and be able to rotate the knife down in order to break his balance and take him down. So once again, what we'll do, I'll say to David, because he's sharpened up for the last technique, right? Whenever you're ready, I want you to cut me, right? I want you to draw that knife right down my throat as hard and fast as you can. Are you ready? So before he gets a chance to move, I've taken the knife off my throat, and then turn it over, strip the knife, and rotate him onto his front, so I've got him in a controlling position again. Okay, technique number 4. Now, as I said earlier, the only people who are ever going to attack you with a knife, or wave it in front of them, are idiots who really have no idea how to actually use a knife or how to do any real damage with a knife. So, generally what they're going to want to do is wave it around, and if they get really brave, they might try and cut your face, slash you down. So it's generally much the same as a Saturday night special with a punch, with a big swing, because they're untrained and they're not really sure how to fight. They do the big swinging one, so you can see it coming. And also, if somebody's swinging a knife at you, there's every chance that they've had a few drinks. Nobody in their right mind is going to swing a knife around in the middle of the street unless they're drunk, which also works in your favour as well, if you have to use this and you can't escape in any other way. So, David's a drunk guy. He's swinging a knife about, he wants to slash me. Go back. So as he slashes me, I come in nice and close, and again I step into his space, and I'm going to hit him in the solar plexus at the same time as keeping this hand, just over here, as keeping this hand here to protect myself. You never come in with your hands down. My hands are up as always when you're protecting yourself. So I've come close and hit him. As soon as I've hit him, I bring my hand through and I'm going to rotate this over and just keep a hold of my hand. Now there's nothing fancy here, there's no lovely big throws or any big sort of Aikido type techniques. It's just bring this hand up and force him right down to the back to the ground as fast and hard as I can. I pull his hand down, strip the knife off him, and hold him in a position that I feel like I'm in control, only till such times that I get the knife and I can get myself up and extricate myself from the situation. Right, okay, so once again, I'm facing this incredibly dangerous man. Look, smiling at him, dangerous. He's really dangerous, but he's got no idea how to use a knife. And thankfully, he's had 4 pints of Stella Artois because he's French. And so that is going to obviously work in my favour. See, he's smiling. The silent, smiling killer. So, whenever you're practicing these techniques, what you have to do is really mean the attacks. And because it's a training knife, it's super safe. It's not going to pierce me, and you know, if it bruises me or it, you know, cracks a rib or something, then that's entirely my fault. But he should always try his hardest to stab me as hard as he can. Because if he does do a flowery one, if he does a wee flowery one, yeah, I go, oh yeah, and I look really good. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. I would rather a technique didn't look good, but was incredibly effective, as opposed to something that looks all flowery and pattery and really is ineffective and ill prepares you for the real thing. So David is drunk and violent, and what he's going to do is stab me. So as he does, I'm just going to come in close to him again, and I'm going to block it, and I'm getting nice and close to him. So my options are from here, before I go into the lock and I bring his hand round, yeah, you can use whatever attack you want. And personally, because we're Scotsmen, we do Judo, which consists of a lot of swearing and headbutts. So bang, I would stick the head in there, nice and quick, rotate the hand up and apply the lock. Now as soon as he's on his knee, using the back of the knife, I come up and strip the knife away against his thumb and forefinger, get myself away, and end up in a position whereby I've got the knife and I'm now out of danger and I can run. Okay, number 6, again we'll paint the scenario. This is, we're outside, this guy's drunk and he's swinging this knife wildly. As he comes and he's aggressive towards me, obviously my hands are up to protect myself as best I can. As he goes to slash, yeah, I move out of the way of it, and then immediately he comes back with a knife. So I step in close to him, take a hold of the wrist and elbow him right in the face. Yeah? So if we do that, so here I'm protected, oh, boom! Elbow in the face. Immediately, as soon as I've elbowed him, I'm going to encircle his head, keep him up so his balance is broken, and drop. So what I'm doing in effect is his elbow goes against, just a bit, so I've still got you. His elbow goes against the thigh, and as it does, I'm just going to force it down. So drop the knife. Yeah, so I've got him controlled there, and a nice drop. From here, you can again do any sort of finish you want. Elbows, get him away, pick up the knife, and get away from the situation as fast as possible. Okay, so this time is the last technique, technique number 7. Now, if you've looked at all the preceding videos and you've practiced all the arm drills, the blocking and striking techniques that are in there, this will come relatively simply, and all the explanations for what I'm going to do are already in the videos. So rather than jump to the end video to get the cool stuff, go back to the start and work your way through, and when you get back up to this point again, you'll understand exactly what's happening. Right, so this time David is incredibly violent. He's been drinking whiskey, not just Stella Artois. So what he wants to do is he's going to stab me right in the face. As he does, my hands are up, I'm going to carry him to the side as I step off the line. So nice and quick, David, you're there. I'm going to carry to the side, take a hold of this, I'm going to hit him with my forearm all around here. Bang, right up into the side of the back of the neck here. Take a hold of him, lift him up, and rotate this knife into him. Yeah? Hook up this leg and keep him in there nice and tight. So I've got him choked and I've got him strangled and I've got control over his knife hand. Now from here, what I've got to do is I've got to gain full control over him. So he's in an uncomfortable position. I've got him strangled, but I need him on his front, and I need to be able to escape from this position because my leg's locked into his arm now, and if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble. So I pull this arm back, pull him on his front, and use this hand to push this down and finish him with a punch. He's got the knife, but I'm off. And David, merci beaucoup. There we go. Knife defense is in French.